Okay, it's Friday, March 3rd. This is a pre-opening SPY report about an hour to go before the open, and after yesterday's outside bar closing green to the upside. We are skewing a little bit to the upside this morning in the pre-market range. My overall view today is really pretty much to wait to see how today ends to get more clarity about what might be unfolding, but there is a few biases in play. First of all, given that we have the monthly open here, this key yellow line, I can't get really bearish in any way until we fail in some form on this new, up move and start back lower that kind of penetrates this line or has the anticipation to penetrate this line. So for today, that would mean either a very weak start below the pre-market lows, starting strongly down. That could start kind of below the midway point of this bar and head lower, or we could start up today and break these highs, but then come all the way down to the halfway point of that bar. Again, I'm not anticipating any of that, but that's what I would look for. Other than that, I'm kind of biased to the upside in the short run. And the reason is as we come up here, first of all, you can see the pre-market range. We're kind of near the upper end of the range starting out. So it looks like we're going to get a little bit of a 3-2 continuation to start. And I see some pivots up here that could be taken out, that are nearby. And that's the big difference between yesterday's 3-bar and other 3-bars. Like here's a 3-bar to the downside. And if you were going to look for downside continuation, you'd look on the chart and see those pivots are pretty far away, and you just had a little bit of a downward move, and then you closed green. So sometimes when you get broadening action, you don't get the follow through, and the strongest signals develop in the days ahead. So here, we can definitely get a little bit of a 3 up and then maybe a failure. That would be, a good sign for the downward move into next week. But you can get 3-2 continuations. I'm trying to look at another 3-bar. Well, here's a 3-bar to the upside, which, you could have maybe said we're going to, test that pivot up here, but immediately price opened in the middle of the range lower, and you had an inside day. And then when you have the inside day, you kind of then can judge what happens the day after. So today, if we would open lower, I would be looking for maybe an inside day. I'd want to see if we penetrate this line. We seem to be opening higher. I see some pivots, up here. So it's going to be tricky to know, you really got to judge from this pre-market high, the opening price action, how strongly we might start from there. That'll show you whether you're likely to take out these pivots or not. Any failure in here, I'd really have to see it unfold in a strong way to get short. I'd rather just kind of wait till Monday to get the classic 3-2 up, 2 down kind of day. If we have an inside bar for some reason, let's say by the time the market opens, we open up down here, we just go inside, then we'll again have to kind of really see how this weekly bar closes coming into next week. And that's kind of what I want to really judge more than anything else. Like last week, we had a pretty big red bar, so you were biased to at least take out the lows. And if you look at even though we closed with a little bit of a little green bar here, the first 3 days of the week and almost the first 4 days, work towards that low from last week. If we close with a big hammer bar here or even a green bar, then I would be anticipating higher prices into next week, at least to start the week. So that's why I want to really see how this bar closes. And it's hard to have a strong bias one way or the other today. So that's kind of my main point. I still think the monthly chart has a 2-down month going, which projects towards these lows, but I want to now be patient and wait for some kind of actionable signal that starts us lower again on the daily charts below the yellow line here, below the open of that month. Other than that, you got to kind of stick with the upside green, and you could be surprised to the upside. You never know. So even today, we could get a big move to the upside. So if we start strong today, I would definitely bias to the long side, look for some of these targets, maybe to be taken, out, and we can just see what kind of day unfolds after this 3-bar. But I'm just thinking of all these things ahead today more than anything else, rather than being excited about getting too long or getting too short. But I'll go where price action leads us. And again, I think it'll be important to see how this weekly bar closes. That'll give us a much better sign for what's coming up in the weeks ahead, and especially for the daily chart, we'll see kind of what the next day should bring, given how today's action closes.